Hello, wonderful people. We're on video 63 of 365 days, and today I want to talk about how to change your focus changes your response. I want this to be a really short, sweet video because it is Sunday and Mark and I are just about to go out. But it's really easy when you are in a relationship with somebody to, and if things don't feel right, to start having conversations like, if you did this and if you did that, and if only you said it this way, and if only you used that word, and you put all the attention out there on the other person. And what happens is that puts huge amount of pressure, because it now means that other person's got to keep trying to use part of their memory to try and be something they're not, and they're having to adjust their behavior, and then that whole thing of trying to change other people in order for you to be happy doesn't work. And I remember so today, I'm just celebrating the fact that I've changed my focus and it's drastically changed the response. So this morning, I've got up and I said to Mark, since we got back from holiday, since we got back from Kefalonia, I haven't done my normal cooking. We've sort of eaten out the freezer. We've had party last Saturday. We ate leftover party food for about 3 days. And yesterday, I was just feeling really, really fat and bloated. And I said to him that I would like to have a day of just sort of green juices and just water, and I need to go and physically move. And we were out yesterday, and I said to him, I feel like we're really more connected now. And here, hello, who's live here? We're just talking about change focus, change your response. And the conversation yesterday was about connected. And I said to him, do you think we're more connected? And I want to just clarify this, because I remember years ago when we very first met, we've been together 14 years, and I'd been really hurt in a relationship before. I had a lot of self-doubt and a lot of my self-esteem was quite low, and yet he saw me as a really strong and confident person. And I said to him one day, I said, how do you know that I love you? Because I was sort of almost questioning whether he loved me. And he said, I just assume you do. I just trust that you do. And I thought, oh, that's an interesting concept. And from that day, I chose to trust that he loved me. And then what I discovered is that when I stopped putting the focus on, does he love me? Does he care about me? I started testing the relationship. Then it was more about just making a decision. What would I like to have happen today? And so it's been interesting just to notice today that what I want to have happen is to drink green juices. I want to get out and move. And when I said to Mark about it yesterday, I said, do you think we're more connected? Hello, Jane. Thank you for joining us. We're talking about connection. I know you'll love this subject. And he said, I said, I felt we were more connected. And he said, he said, you seem to be less, and he couldn't quite find the words, but what he said is, before you're always like, oh, we need to be doing things together, we need to be doing that. So I was obviously like questioning how we need to be with each other. He said, you seem more settled. And the basic thing that's changed is that I trust that we're connected. We can't be anything other than connected. And it's not about whether we are connected, whether the relationship's okay. It's about me actually going, what do I want to have happen? And me being okay with that it might be different to what he wants. Because I think I've spent my whole life trying to be connected through similarities and being the same and doing the same things, doing stuff together, that I've realised that actually the connection comes from just accepting who we are and what the value we bring, but also knowing yourself and knowing what you want. So today I've woke up, and those of you know, we pretty much follow a vegan diet, plant-based. We're not vegetarian or vegan. We're not sort of like this anti the animals. I will have the odd bit of chicken occasionally, but basically we follow a plant-based diet. But Mark fancied poached egg on toast this morning, and I fancied green juice. Now, go back 5 or 6 years ago, I would have eaten poached egg on toast just to be the same as Mark, just because I want to be connected. I want to be doing stuff together. And I would have adjusted what I wanted to do for the day and then got agitated. And it's been a really big learning curve today, because I've noticed that since I got back from Kefalonia, 7th of May, I got that warning about my heart, got told not to exercise, to take it easy. So I haven't done any real physical workout. I usually go boot camp on a Tuesday. I usually have yoga on a Monday, and I usually do something else at the gym Thursdays and Saturdays. So I used to work out for at least 4 hours a week since May, but I haven't done any of that. And I'm starting to feel like, today, my body is going, come on, you need to get back to movement. You know your heart's fine. Stop faffing about it. And I've just said to Mark, I need to go out and move my body. I need to do something. And the change is that in the past, I would have projected that on him and go, oh, we need to do something. We need to go out and do something. And he'd be like, oh, well, I want to watch Formula One or whatever. Because he doesn't have a need to move. He's been on his bike and cycled like 60 miles this week. His body isn't craving movement. So what I've done is said that what I would like to have happen today is go out and do an hour of exercise or some sort of hike up a hill, and then asked him what he'd like to have happen. Fortunately, he's quite happy to join me. But if he didn't want to join me, the difference is I know my body needs to move, and I would just gone off and done an exercise for an hour on my own and not got all miffy with him because he's not joining me, because it's meanings that we're not connected. So I just want you to think about the story that you tell yourself, because we sometimes, especially if you're people pleasers or you're busy trying to make things right for everybody else, it's really easy for you to have clarity of what you want. So I know that I need to have a light day of food. I love cooking for my family. I love cooking a roast dinner, even with nut roast as a vegetarian dinner. I love all the food preparation, but I have a really strong sense inside of me today that my body needs a day of lightness. So I'm quite happy to have just juice today for one day. And it might be after I've had the hike, I've built up an appetite, and maybe I'll feel like I want to eat solid food, but today I don't want to do that. Now, in the past, because I craved that attention, I craved that connection with my family, I would have prioritised cooking for the other people. And I would have found it hard to cook it for them and then not eat it. Whereas now, I do think that coming back later, I will do one or two things. Either Mark will just cook something for himself and I'll stick to the juices. I might have changed my mind and decided I do want to eat a dinner. Or I'll happily cook the meal and prepare it for somebody else, and I'll sit and drink juice while they have their dinner. That's a massive change for me. And the reason it's changed is because I've changed the story about what my perception of connection is. So with that in mind today, I know that most of the people that come to me, they come to me at 3 points in the journey, either because they're stuck and they need to make a decision. So sometimes the decision is, do I stay in my marriage or do I go? Do I stay in my business or do I go back to being employed? There's that stuck. They're at a turning point in their life and they have to make a decision. But sometimes the reason they can't make the decision is because they don't actually know themselves well enough. So the next point in the journey is to get to know yourself better, to build confidence up in who you are, what works for you, how you think, how you learn. Because the way that you process the world, the way that you listen to it influences how you make decisions. And it's when I started to change that things got better. And then the last bit is change is uncomfortable for all of us. So to go and do the hike, or for me to sit today and drink juice while other people are having a meal, that's a change. My brain's going to be smelling that food, it's going to be seeing it, and it's going to be like, oh, you should be eating right now. But I know that I've checked with myself that for 24 hours, I want to eat differently for my body. I have a strong thing about one of my core values about inclusion, and I don't like exclusion. So when I'm doing things that are different to other people, it feels uncomfortable for me. But because I know how I experience change now, I can choose to be uncomfortable for that little bit of time, and it will only last a little bit, and the phase will go. So I want you to think about today, most of the reason we're doing all of this, making decisions, building confidence in ourselves, and we're struggling to change, while we're doing all that, we are wanting to fit in, belong, and stay connected to the people that we really care about. So let's start with clarity. Just for a minute, just think about, for yourself, connection for you is like what? What does it mean to be connected? If you want a stronger sense of connection with your loved ones, or a stronger, you want to be able to connect better with your clients, you want to connect better with your team, whatever kind of connection and whoever it's with. Fab, I'll look forward to your answers later. I'm going as well too, shortly. So I just want you to think about what is connection for you? And then from confidence, what works for you? How do you need to be for connection to be like that? And also, what needs to change, if anything? And is it the way you focus on, what you focus on? Is it the story you tell yourself? Is it the support network you get to get through those changes? Because the story that you tell yourself will impact how it all feels and how it unfolds. So I'm celebrating the fact that things have changed greatly for Mark and I, and that I'm now going out for a walk. He is joining me. We're going to get back. He's going to watch Formula One, and then that'll be another change for me. I'm then going to learn to go and do things around the house on my own, which is new for me. I like doing stuff with people, but I'm going to set myself some goals around the house to get certain rooms clean and tidy, and then have that sense of achievement from there. Lots of love to you all. Have a fantastic Sunday. I look forward to hearing what your perceptions of connection are, and we can learn from each other, because I'm sure some of them will be different, and we can share and learn together. Bye bye.